Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh. Pretty sure I updated this. Yeah. Fine. With all that stuff. Since I'm not working on them. Okie dokie. Let me think. So I think we've already got the settings, right? Yeah, we do, because we load those out at the start. There. How do we do it? So we load out that. And then when we get all this other stuff, we then attach it to the settings, I think. Yeah, put it out onto that. Okay. So, if what am I looking for? Press start banner. Oh wait, no, banner setting. Press start banner. If that is not true, so pretty much if it's disabled on the front end and it's already disabled on the settings, then we'll just back out. There's nothing that we need to change. Otherwise, what we then need to do is get the banner settings. And I think, yeah, if banner settings is null, we create one. And then we simply right chunk with that. So I need to update those settings first. So Actually, I don't want to do that. It's not very much different. What I say? Quest start. Airboard. Let's see. This. Yep. Dot. This thing. Let me think. Maybe that doesn't need to be a thing. And we just evaluate that here. No, we can't. Because we don't know what it is yet. We don't know the name of the quests, so we can't evaluate it here. Oh me. Text box. Start title. Text. Trim. Get rid of any trailing spaces or any starting spaces. Audio. Checkbox start play audio. Yeah. No start duration value. No, this is because that's an int. This is what is this? This is a decimal. Let me just check actually. I'm pretty certain these don't allow decimal. Yeah, they increment by 1. Yeah, decimal place is 0. Okay. So that's fine, it can only ever be an integer. Right. Actually, I've not done the audio name. Start audio name equal. Start audio selected studying. Double check I've got all this validation in here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. What we got next? Volume and then pitch. Do that. That. Nice cheeky way of doing it, and replace every instance. Start a selection for the most part. This one wants to be a lowercase c. Right. Theoretically then, we should be good. So that gets saved up here. Everything here gets saved. And then once all that is saved, saved. Okay. Theoretically, that should be us sorted. I think I've got the audio test there. Play sound yet. I think I want to test what I've got so far. Where's me? Take this. Glass library. I didn't change where it needed to output. Build here. There we go. Save that. Do that again. Here we are. Alrighty, let's see how this looks and works. It should, hopefully, work correctly. Might be some bugs here and there, but hopefully it should all be relatively stable. Soon find out. I think while I'm here, I might change some of this stuff just to get some quick wins out of the way. Oh wait, no, it's not that, it's this. Shift to the top, a couple of pixels. Good. That obviously doesn't do anything yet. Neither of these two. But this is where the good stuff is. Alright, companion. Okay. Both the remove and the edit are fine. Good. Good. Yep, it's happy with that because it's the same as it was before. Good, it's happy with removal. Right, that's broken. And that's broken too, that's fine, it can fix them. So what's this? This is the... Oh, they don't actually have any change events on them yet. Oh, they did. Oh, maybe that was a radio. Yeah, it's these. I just need to assign them. What is it? Button create variable check change. That one wants to be that. This one's button existing variable check change. I'm gonna do a quick rebuild and retest it. Reason I test it inside Backing as well is because it gives me access to the catalog, which is what I'd be using to save these settings, because inside Visual Studio I can only test user interface works, I can't test that it saves the settings. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Good. That's working how I wanted it to. So let me just re-add this. I don't think I've got anything that pre-populates these fields yet. So it might not show up with anything, actually. Okay, I need to do that, but that's fine. Actually, no, let me do that now. I'll do this now. Yeah, let's work on the pre-population of data. Let's see. Oh, we do set up the audio drop down, so let me just have a look at that out of curiosity. Oh, okay, maybe we don't. What's this doing then? Sounds is that. I don't need to order it by name because these are sorted lists, I believe. Should be. Yes, that one's sorted. As is that one, so yeah, I don't need to explicitly order it. Start audio drop down, items, add range, select the name to array. Oh, wait, I know what the problem is. It's because this. I explicitly had this not using the one it should be. Because obviously I was testing it in Visual Studio originally. I'm going to leave that one as is, because otherwise it will break. But this one, fine. Actually no, that one won't break per se. It won't show anything because it's not set up to do anything yet, it's quite empty. It won't break, so I can introduce that. Okay. So yeah, that's that bit. That should initialize those drop downs. And then I want to... Let me think. So where do we use variables? I think it's only in that one place. Yeah. Okay. So here, what are we doing? We get the settings. If it doesn't exist, then we return nothing. Then obviously none of that gets preset. Ah, initialize settings, okay. And then all the fields will be their default values, which they have been. Oh, no they haven't, because we haven't tested this one yet, because this, yeah, we've not got to this one. Okay. Let's see. fine. I can create a method to pre-populate data. Let's see, private void. Pre-fill settings data. So this is obviously going to be in a situation where settings exist, has been set up. With that in mind, quest types list dot, well actually let me think here. Settings dot quest custom quest types. That's an I list of custom quest types. Okay. So that's fine. That just means I need to do change this song. I don't like this. Okay. We just want to do quest list add setting custom quest types select x dot type name to array. Oops, accidentally hit F1. There we go. So that is pre-filled that. We then need to pre-fill the variable data. And let's see. Is it? It might be this. Okay. Those are the variables. Let me think. Existing variable dropdown dot items dot add existing var in dot b. And then if settings dot custom currency dot variable name, right? If the variable name in settings is not null or empty, and existing variable dot items dot contains this, then this variable dropdown dot items selected item was that. I'm going to split this up. Pre-fill, general settings. Actually, I want this above. I'm just going to swap that around again. Oh, hold up. Off a closing bracket when I cut it. Yeah. And then I want this to be banner setting. That's hopefully going to be a bit easier for future me to read. Alrighty. And then let me think. So check box start banner enabled dot checked equals setting banners. Oops. In fact, actually, I'm gonna shorten this a bit. Unless hopefully just make it a little bit shorter. Quest start banner enabled. Can I just copy? Just on that one, actually, I don't need to do. I'm gonna cheat a little. Well, not cheat. I'm just gonna be smart about it a bit. It's gonna help me out in the long run. And it's gonna save me typing it all. I'm gonna copy that. And hey, paster. Boom. Right. I just need to do Control Alt Shift. Oh, well, Shift will work. Right. And then banner setting something. Cool. Right. So checkbox customize. So it's going to be customize start banner title. This will be include quest start quest title banner title. Okay. Just in the images. Start title. Start banner. Audio. Best start banner play. Yeah. Right, the drop down. Select an item. So at this point, that's been done. So I'm going to come back to this one because that one depends on whether or not this is ticked. start duration value. So that'll be quest start duration. And oh, nice, that's not complaining. Good. Numstar, yes, that's just going to be quest start banner audio volume. Quest start banner audio temp pitch. Okay, and then we can do this. If banner setting quest start audio. And setting quest start audio name. No. Yes and no. If start audio drop down items.contains that, then start audio drop down dot items dot select, no, it's not that, selected item equals that. No, it does not equal that. Equal. Cool, right, and then we'll just do the same thing for this stuff. What do I have? Okay, I need to copy that. Right. Quest complete banner in customize banner type. Complete. Quest start. No. Complete banner duration. Quest complete banner audio volume. Quest complete banner audio temp pitch. Sounded risky. Right. Then, if banner setting quest complete play audio and complete audio drop items dot quest complete audio name, then complete audio drop down dot select item equals banner setting dot oops complete name. Hey. So this stuff only happens if settings is normal. Refill general settings. Refill banner setting. Okay, now we can give this a decent test run. Because not only will we be able to save things now, we'll now actually be able to see it pre-populate that information again if we close and come back to it later. I didn't actually update the plugin real quick. Let me just copy that, pasty it there. Get a goo.
Mic off. Mic on.
Right. There's Moment of Truth. I didn't blow up. A good start. And hopefully... Ah, damn it, that hasn't got anything. Okay, that's got stuff. It's gone... Interesting, it's not like that. I suppose it makes sense, because if this was further up, then it'd go down. It's just dependent on the placement of the window. But that begs an interesting question. Oh, I know the reason for it. I think. It's because this thing only happens if we do have settings. Which isn't necessarily going to be true all the time. So I'm going to extract that from here. And void initialize variable drop down. Slap that in there. And then recall that as well. Because that one should be done regardless of whether or not we've got settings or not. So, let's rebuild that. Close that. Close that. Try this again. Alrighty. I have hope for this one. Right. So. Oh, interesting. Not quite what I was expecting to see. Let me have a look. What did I get? Bardefs. Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't select the name. I selected the whole thing. Not quite what I wanted. I just want the name, please. So let's try that again. Alright, now I'm feeling confident. And around we go again. Right. So this time, I think we're golden. Yeah, look at that. And those are in alphabetical order, which is good. Ah, okay. So I need to disable this when that's not turned on. I don't think it's disabled. Oh no, it's disabled by default. But then we don't disable it when that's unticked. Then we only disable it, yeah. So I just need to do the same bit of work for that. Update. So what's this? Check changed. Uncreate. See variable option. So this one's to because I can't rely on just this being unchecked because it's not a radio button. I can choose to have both of them unchecked. So hopefully that should work now. Boom, boom. Okay, so, yep, that's good, that's enabled, and if I untick it, perfect, it's gone. Alright. Let's have a nosy at this. Just make sure these work. Let's pick this one. Nice, perfect. Good. I am happy with that. Let's see. Actually, that's an interesting thought. I should probably have this disabled until this is messed with. I suppose the same should apply to these. Might do a little reorganizing. Only a little bit. Let me think. Oops, wrong button. Let me just move this there for a minute. And I'm gonna move this down. About there. Shift this to about here. Okay. I'll do the same with this. Yeah, 7. Yeah, 7. It's good. Cool. And then... does this have a thing? No, it does not. Let's move this up a bit. And we'll shift it to about... here. Okay, and then I need one for this side. Right. So it's simply just going to disable these fields if it's not ticked. Same applies for the test button. And then the same applies to these things. Label. Yeah, I can. So, label. Start. Roll. Check. Start. Check. Start. Start. Label. Start. Tempo. Cool. And then this essentially was to mirror this, except we replace all instances of the word start with instances of the word complete. Except in one specific case, which is this one. Actually, right, and then there's other things. Right. Right, okay, I'm gonna try and make this a bit easier on myself. Private enable, disable, start audio. Fields. That can take. Actually, no, it doesn't need. It can take it, but it wouldn't. Settings equals null. It's an optional field. I'm going to put all of that. Paste it there. Enabled equals setting. Dot. Ooh, let me think. Banner setting. Interesting. Oh, it's not settings, why? It's settings chunk. Banner settings. Oh, let me think. West start. Banner play audio. No coalescent operator. That is not the case. Then we go back to place based on Checkbox start play audio checked. And then we just simply replace all of these with this. Right. So then that way I can do enable, disable that, and choose not to use it here when we're changing it actively. But when we are loading the form initially, and we need to determine whether or not we need to disable or enable the fields based on the settings we've just loaded out, then here we can do this. We can choose to pass in the settings. Actually, to be fair, I could just pass in the chunk itself. Banner setting chunk. That'll just be that. Makes it a bit shorter. And then that just becomes this. Great. Okay, now we just need to do the same thing for this one. Enable, disable, delete audio. This one is going to be based on checkbox complete audio. Okay. Cut that from there, paste it in there, copy this, highlight all this old stuff. And replace it with that. And then that can be called here. And it can also be called down here. Nice. Let's give that a go. Okay, so if I enable this, oh yeah, I need to change this. So, let's see. So audio, no, we don't want the drop down. We want the checkbox that labels this stuff, yes. So, get rid of that. Start audio test, get rid of that. Duration is fine, and then the rest of this. Oh, I love getting rid of code. Update banner, yeah, this. Right, so the drop down we get rid, and the test button. And then these last 4. X number of time is the charm. Okay, so if I do this, yeah, that only turns on this checkbox. These are still disabled, unless I do this, and that enables it. Nice, that's good. Very nice. Let's just check, make sure that it's mirrored correctly on this one. Yeah, happy days. Alright, let's actually test it now. So I'm going to set a bit of everything. I'll create a new one. Quest system currency test. Quest test. UT. And then I think, yeah, that stays. Right. I'll not change that initially. I'll set this to 7. I'll play cancel sound effect. I'll set this to 5 and that to 95. I'll customize this one. That to that. And I'll leave that as is. Right. What's it fallen over at? It's fallen over in the save banner settings. Object not set to an instance of something, so we've got a null reference exception. And that was in the save banner setting. Here we are. So, if settings... Oh yeah, okay, so this assumes that we have settings. Let's see. I could do if settings is not equal to... No, it wouldn't be that. If settings... not banner settings not equal to null. Actually, no. I'm going about this wrong. I don't need to do that. I just need to make sure I initialize the settings correctly. Right. Custom quest types equals a new list. Custom quest type chunk. Custom currency equals a new custom currency chunk, and this equals banner settings chunk. There we go. It was just me not initializing stuff properly. That should hopefully fix it. Alrighty. Let's try this again. Quest test switch variable, I mean. Quest test cutie. Yes. That. No, have that as is. Save. Right, another problem. Still in the save banner settings. Okay. So there's something else I've not caught. Let's have another look. So banner settings should now be set up. So that shouldn't be null anymore. What else could it be? It has to be something. Is it because settings is null? It shouldn't be because we initialize new settings. Let's set up some debug points. Oh, I say debug points. We'll set up some breakpoints. Message box. No. If settings is null. Settings is null. This is unfortunately how we have to debug. If I'll do else if settings dot banner settings is null. Message box dot show banner setting. That shouldn't be the case anymore, but it still, I suppose, could be. That is the only thing we're really toying around with. That's a bool, that's a string. Oh, yeah, there's nothing in particular that could be going awry. Banner settings chunk, that's fine, we've got a null check there. That should be getting set. It is. Okay, let's have a look then and see what throwing a tiff. Think in about 4 minutes. I'm going to head away for about 5 to 10 minutes just to make my wife a drink. So, it's fallen over at the banner setting, so I'm just going to skip straight to that. Gonna pick some random things. Don't want to set this. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, okay. Actually, I'm glad that's pointed itself. Because we don't need to validate that. So if that is checked... So what are the errors I'm getting, actually? Enter the name and enter the acronym. Right, okay. That only cares if... So let's think like this. If button create a variable checked or distinct check and okay, that's good. I fixed that. I will set them for now. Oh, interesting. Button, save, click. So it's giving me a bit of a red herring because it's saying save banner settings, but I think it could be further up. Interesting. Alright, I'll have a look at that in a bit. I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to grab a drink.
Mic off. Mic on.
Alrighty, I'm back. Okie dokie, let's set up some more breakpoints or debug points. This obviously wasn't working. So, I think what I'll do... I'm just gonna litter this place with these. Oh no, I'm pretty sure I'm getting past that. So number 2 there. So number 3. And if we get into this, then we'll just instantly show the 4 as well. So let's do that I mean, the problem could still be inside the save banner settings method, but I just don't see immediately what the issue could be with it. I'm starting to question whether or not it's definitely in there. I mean, I suspect it is, but you never know. I just want to cover all my bases. Right, so if I go in here, change some of this stuff. Yeah, just checking you couldn't go over 100. Yep. So we've got past test 1, test 2, test 3. Okay, so we're inside the method before it falls over. So what that tells me is that neither settings or banner settings is null. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of all these. I'm going to go back down to this. And we're going to see whereabouts it falls over at. So the next thing is, do we get past this? And then do we get past this? And then do we get past this? And see. We'll do some checks in here. Message box. If we get this far at least. Go. Extra chunk is null. Extra chunk is not null. Alright, let's have a look at this one. We got past that, past that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So, it's falling over somewhere in here. I reckon it's this. No, it can't be that. Interesting. What could it be? Maybe it could be that. Oh, it's this. It's this. Okay. So, that's fine then. We can deal with that. Because this isn't a string by default. It's an object, which can be null. Which means if I haven't selected an item, then this object is null. And you can't call to string on null. The only reason we made it this far is because we did select an audio to play in this top one. So that meant that because we did select an item, the name of that item was a string, so we can call to string on that. Or whatever we've selected can be cast to a string, I should say. But this one can't. So it's a fix we're going to apply to both of them. But all we need to do is say complete audio drop down. Selected index equal, not equal, -1. If so, then we're going to set it to that. Otherwise, if it hasn't been selected, then it's just going to be an empty string. And we're going to apply the exact same thing up here. So start down selected index not equal 1. -1 just means that nothing's been selected. So the drop down menu hasn't been touched pretty much. Okay, now we can get rid of these message boxes. Can get rid of that. Can get rid of it. Cool. Alright, that should be working now. Okie dokie. Right, let's do the full test. We'll assume it all works now. Onion. There's going to be 2 tests I'm going to do. There's going to be one where I set everything, and then I'm going to delete the chunk that has my settings in it, and then I'm going to try saving it with nothing in it. So let's see. West test variable test cutie label that setting saved. Whoop. So that one hasn't pre-filled the data. I wonder why that is. Why is that? Initialize component, get settings chunk. So get settings chunk should be doing stuff. Yeah, let me do this. I have this return a bool. So it's still gonna do it. So if settings extra chunk equals null, return false. Here we return true. And then what I'm gonna do is this. Let me just check something out of curiosity. Yeah, okay, no. I'm not actually going to save it, so my settings chunk should not exist. I think. Because I chose not to save my project. Okay, let's do this again real quick. Okay. So yeah, we're not doing that for some reason. And I wonder why. So I'm going to build that. I'll close this. I am going to save it. So at this point, my chunk should exist still. And then this new build's going to tell me if it can find it. Oh, actually, I've just had an interesting thought. When we hit save... Ah, yeah, that's silly of me. We save all the stuff related to the settings, but we never actually save the settings itself. But I suppose the question is... do I need to? What is this settings chunk? Well, I suppose it's being used for that. Okay, fair enough. So it's holding... it's gonna hold potentially general settings. Okay, that's fine. That's a mishap on my part. So we've got the get settings chunk initialize, and then I just need to simply create another one here for save settings chunk. Oh, save settings in this case. No, I'm going to say save settings chunk to be explicit. Okay, so let me think. Okay. If it's that, setting. There we go. So I just need to call this in here. There we go. That should hopefully resolve my issue. So we were never actually saving any of the data properly. I'm actually going to temporarily create a button to just purge everything. Only going to be available to me. So all I need to do here is Okay. Almost done. Right. Gonna build that in for me real quick. So I can test it from scratch. Oh, I've got it open still. There we go, try again. Try again. There we go. I'm not sure what data. It might populate some data at the moment, I think. Oh no, it won't. It won't populate data. Not yet. But that's fine. So I think it's got data, but it won't populate that data at the moment. Settings chunk doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We know that now. Gonna get rid of this. And get rid of this. Right, purge. There we go. That's all groovy. I'm gonna close this, save that. I'm gonna build this. Right, so if I now look at this, we've got brand new settings. Hopefully, if I've done this correctly, this should work. Test. Test. Variable. Test. A variable with the name you're trying to create already exists. Oh, right, okay. Oop. Go. Okay, so now, theoretically, if I go back... Okay, it's tried at least. But it's fallen over at the get custom quest types. Okay. Let's have a look at that then. Not able to load it at all? No, okay. Get custom quest types. So we get the list. There isn't any. We return otherwise for each one. We grab it, read it, and add it to the custom quest type. Right, okay, I'm going to stick some message boxes around again, see how far we're getting. Do that. Save what we've got. So the data is now saved correctly, but it's just not able to pull it out correctly. Hopefully we can figure out what the problem is. Be able to see how far we get before it falls over, whether or not it's inside or outside the loop, or if it's just falling over at the initial if statement that we've got. Oh, interesting. Get custom questions. Right, so did I? Yes, I can't remember actually. Build this. So it's falling over here. Which is fine. I think it's because settings might not be null. No, settings might be null, I mean. But it shouldn't be. If settings equals null. That's not a nullable GUID either, so... Yeah, if that's null, then we'll probably see that in a second. Settings is null. Interesting. Okay, so that's why it's fallen over. The question is, why is it null? Because it shouldn't be null. So we do this. Interesting. Message. Signing. I'm curious to see if we get to this point. Because it should be getting to that point, and it should be assigning it. I suppose it could be the way it's doing it. It doesn't like. I don't know. It should be working. Oh, I know what it is. I think another problem. It's because this doesn't initialize as a new settings chunk. So it's trying to... So normally what this does, where is it? So this bit here where we say read chunk and then pass it in, normally what it does is it assigns the properties from this extra chunk onto this property in this case. Because settings is, well, would be an instance of a settings chunk. But before I did this, it wasn't, it was null. settings, if it was initialized, would be an instance of settings chunk, but because it wasn't initialized, it's null. And you can't read a chunk onto a null object, I think. So I think that should work. I think. I'm going to leave the debug log in there and do it again, but hopefully this time it should work. If I'm lucky. I have the skill. Interesting. So we got to test 2, wherever that is. Okay, so I think we've got further. We've still got an issue, but we got past the initial issue we had, which is good. Now then, it still said it was complaining about this method, I think. Get custom quest types, yeah. So it's still got a problem with this method, but it's a different issue. So we can get rid of this stuff now, because we're working there. I'm going to minimize some stuff, just so it's not all in the way. Right. So we've got a problem now in here. I think it's because this isn't initialized. Although it should be. Settings equals... Ah, but it isn't. Okay, I gotcha. I think I might be able to be cheeky about it and just do this. Yeah, let's do that there. Then that wants to be a new custom currency chunk. It wants to be a new instance of that. Likewise, so does this. Why is this complaining? Interesting. Why is this one complaining and the other isn't? Oh, it's because I didn't put an equal sign. There we go. Okay, so fingers crossed, that should now be happy, because when we initialize a new settings chunk, that inherently initializes a new one of them, a new one of them, and a new one of them. Which is good, because the way that my thing is set up to work is that when we get this stuff, we add it directly to the settings. Likewise here, when we're getting the custom settings stuff here, we're just assigning it directly to that. And likewise with this, custom currency just gets read straight onto that, and that wouldn't be possible if that was null, which it shouldn't be anymore because we've just set up the initializers for them. So, if all is well, and my reasoning is sound, which I'd like to think it is the majority of the time, should be alright. I think I got rid of all the message boxes as well. I hope I did. Not in that world if I didn't, but it's just going to be a little bit of a pain. No, not pain, a nuisance. There we go. That's interesting and not correct. No. Very interesting. Okay, I'll come back to that. Those two are correct at least. Does that. That's correct. That is. That's not. That is. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. Most of it's correct. So I'm going to purge everything and do this again. These should all be blank. Yep. Test variable 3. Test Qt. Save that again. Leave, come back. So that part isn't correct. That is... Yeah, so we're having trouble setting the drop-down menu settings correctly. But that's okay, we can fix that. So we'll start off with this. So, initialize, pre-fill general settings. So we set the quest types, that's fine. If the string settings custom currency, so if the variable name is not null, and the existing things contain that, so let's just double check this then. Message box.show. Variable name from settings is settings custom currency variable name. Have a look at that. Let's test variable 3. Okay, so it knows which one it is. Does that option exist in this list? It does. Oh, it exists twice, interestingly enough. That's probably why it couldn't do it. It didn't know which of the two to pick. Actually, looking at this, they're all in here twice. Why have we set this? Why have we got two? Why have we got duplicates? Let's have a look. Do we actually have duplicates, or is it just the drop-down menu that's wrong? So, let's see, we're looking at variables. So we don't actually have duplicates, so the list is just being set up incorrectly. So, let's have a look. So from the top, what are we doing? We get the custom currency. What's that do? That adds this stuff. And that automatically does the drop down menu for me. Okay. So theoretically then we probably don't need that. However, ooh, let's think. Right, that's fine. I've got an idea. I'm going to simply initialize these first. And then this doesn't need to worry about doing that. That should hopefully fix that one. I'm hoping it was just because there was 2 variables with the same name in the list, so it didn't know which one to assign it to, because we just said the selected item is this name, but there's 2 names, so it's getting confused and it doesn't know which one to pick. But now, there shouldn't be duplicates, and it should just be the one, and it should now work. Okay. Yep, there we go, that's good. I do also need to check that by default. That's fine, I can do that in a moment. Actually, no, it's part of this. So if we do select that, then we also want to be doing button existing variable dot checked equals true. Okay. This one is now also working. Not sure what I did different. Oh, I changed where we did the assignment. That makes sense, yeah, because otherwise we're trying to do the banner settings stuff before it's been set up. Good stuff. Just quickly try this out.
Mic off. Mic on.
Yeah, boom, there we go. Okay, that's sword. And so's that. Alright, the settings page is done. So I'm just going to do this. Purge all my settings. I want to hit save. And I want to see how that behaves now. Yeah, figured. Okay, that's fine. And that's fine because that's just complaining about the values we're setting on default. So let me think. So that would be full. So we do that. I don't know. I'll come back to that. Seconds. It did for what I was testing it with. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Mic off.